Leonardo da Vinci once said that time waits just long enough for those who use it. So the question is, what are you doing with your time? We all have 24 hours in a day. What are you doing with your time? Are you building your dream? Or are you helping someone else build theirs? Are you putting in the work every single day, every single moment of now? Are you planning for your future? They say planning is bringing the future into the present so you can do something about it now. So the question is this: what are you doing with your time? Remember, the time is always now.
And thank you for joining me for the Time Is Always Now podcast. My name is Terence Young. I'm your host for the podcast today. This is a podcast that's dedicated to helping people get past their excuses. Helping people say, I'm not going to do it someday or one day, I'm going to do it right now. Helping people say, I'm not going to wait for all the circumstances to be perfect before I move forward. Instead, I'm moving forward right now. I can't do everything right now, but I can do something right now. And whatever that is, that's what I'm going to do and continue to move towards my goals and my dreams. That's what it's all about. My name is Terence Young. I'm a New Thought transformational speaker, an author, a workshop facilitator, and a mindset coach. I help change people's paradigms so they can find their passion and start living the life of their dreams right now by harnessing the power in the eternal moment of now. That's what it's all about. So in the podcast, we have a theme each week in my group, the Time Is Always Now Facebook group, which if you haven't joined, jump over there and join us in the Time Is Always Now Facebook group. It's a great group of like-minded people where we work together to encourage, motivate, and inspire each other to continue to reach our goals, to continue to be the best that we can possibly be. And that's what it's all about. So continue to join that group and join us over there. You'll be inspired, you'll be challenged, and it'll be a lot of fun. So each week we have a theme. And this week the theme was putting in the work. So I'm going to share some ideas with you, some things you can tangibly do into your lives, put into your lives right now, where putting in the work is going to change your life, change the way you think, change the way you see things. That's what it's all about. So the first quote that I used was, nobody's a natural. You work to get good, and you work even harder to get better. It's powerful. It's powerful. I think of so many different things when this quote comes to mind. And basketball is a big sport of mine. So I think of LeBron James, or any of the basketball players for that matter. He's got a movie that just came out, right? Space Jam, the new generation, right? And you think about it. People say he's natural because he's, a natural athlete. He's 6'8", and he's built and he's muscular. But people don't talk about the fact that he works hard. He works harder than most people on his body. That's why he's 36 years old, going on 37, and still one of the best players in the league. Yes, he has God-given abilities. Yes, he has natural talent. But what's more important than that is how hard he works to get to the top, the best that he can possibly be. And that aspect, that attribute, very few people have. Most people are just happy with their talents. And I got talents, that's okay. That's not enough. That's not enough. You got to work to get better. Nobody's a natural at anything. You work at it. So take that same concept and put it into business or finances or your relationships or whatever the case may be, right? No matter what it is, right? You continue to work, right? You continue to work to get better. That's how it works. That's how it works. So think about that process. Think about that. No one's a natural. Anyone you see that's being successful at something, you think they're just naturally successful at it? No. They work on it really, really hard. They work hard to get good, and they work even harder to get great. I love that quote. Sacrifice the good for the great. That's that next level of work. that next level of commitment, that next level of discipline that takes you to the pinnacle of your profession or your endeavor, whatever it is. If you want to reach that level, you got to work harder. You got to put in the work. That's what it's about. So that's number one. Number two is this: luck takes hard work. Right? Luck takes hard. What does that mean? There is no such thing as luck. There's no such thing as luck. If you want to feel like if you met somebody and you think they're lucky because they are where they are, I bet you haven't asked them how they got there. There's a great quote that I love that says, "Everybody wants the glory, but they don't know the story." No matter who you are, you see somebody up on stage and they're performing and they're doing all this thing, or singing or dancing, or they just wrote a book and they're so successful, you're like excited, like they just got lucky. No, they didn't. They worked hard at it. They worked so hard, and they've been doing it for years. What's the woman that wrote Harry Potter? You ever heard her story? I can't think of her name right now, but she says she wrote like 20-something books that the people that put the books on, right? That allow your book to get on there, right? They didn't accept them. Turned them down, said they were stupid, they were silly. She's never going to be a writer, but she kept writing, and she kept writing. And then one time, she wrote Harry Potter, which had been turned down as well several times. But then she got that publisher, that's what I'm looking for, a publisher, to accept the book. And then people want to say she got lucky with that one book. She wrote 10 books before that, and Harry Potter itself had got turned down several times. But she kept working. She kept working. She kept working, right? There's no such thing as luck, right? They say that luck is when preparation, right, meets opportunity. That's true. When preparation meets opportunity. You work harder. The luckier you get, the harder you work, the luckier you get. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So continue to work hard. Luck takes hard work. Think about that. That's number two. Number three is this: you can't expect to succeed if you only put in the work when you feel like it. Ooh, I love this one. I love this one. Right? I got a friend of mine, J.J. Burton. He always talks about that. He talks about you got to put in the work even when you don't feel like it. Right? You got to. That's what determination is. That's what discipline is. Doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. And it can relate to so many things. When I'm going out and running or riding my bike, or going to work out like I did this morning. Sometimes I don't feel like working out. People think that I post that video, I'm just excited and ready to go every single day. Nope. Sometimes I wake up and I don't feel like going, but I go anyway. That's determination. That's putting in the work right there. That's putting in the work. You gotta work hard even when you don't feel like it, right? There's that old saying, they say champions are made in the off season. This is true. Like, you have your season, right? No matter what sport it is, but you don't really get better immensely during the season. You get, maybe the team does some things better as they get to the end, but you as an individual in your position, you don't get better in the season. You know when you get better? In the off season, when you're doing those off season workouts. That's when the basketball players work on their moves down low, or they work on their jump shot. Yeah, right? Or just work on their fitness over the summer, over their off season, whatever it may be. Champions are made in the off season. That's when you get better. That's when you get better. You can't expect to get better if you only work hard when you feel like it. You got to work hard all the time, even when you don't feel like it. That's the most important time. That's when the biggest gains are made, when you don't feel like it, but you still go out there and you do that run. You still go out there and you do that workout. You still go out there and you shoot 100 shots or whatever it is for you. It doesn't have to be related to sports. You still make those phone calls, even though you don't feel like it, to promote your business, right? You still invest that money in the stock market, even though you don't feel like it. You still research how to invest that money, even though you don't feel like it, because you know it's going to help you. You got to put in the work, even when you don't feel like it. So I'm going to share 4 things with you here about putting in the work. Right here, four key things. I did a little short video on this. I'm going to share it with you right now. First one is this: you got to have a goal. You got to have one, right? You can't hit a goal if you don't have one. So it sounds silly, sounds simple, but a lot of people are going through life and they don't have a goal. And this is so important. They're living their life every single day and they have no goal. So they're meandering through life. You can't do that. You got to have a goal. All right? When you talk about putting in the work, you got to put in the work towards something. Well, you got to know what that something is. So have a goal. That's number one. Number two, you got to plan your day. Once you have that goal, plan your day. Now, I've talked about this before about having a list of things that you're going to do and prioritize what you're going to do in your day. And of course, things that need to be done need to be right up top. Right? Eat the frog. You got to do those first. So have a goal. Plan your day. Next one is this. Be consistent. A lot of people talk to me all the time about my social media and they say, you're so consistent. You're always on there. I know. I'm supposed to be on there. Consistently. You know what you're going to get from me. Right? You got to be consistent in your day. You got to be consistent in going towards your goals. Whatever it is. Right? You want to put in the work, you got to be consistent. That means, as we just said, even on the days when you don't feel like it, be consistent anyway. Important. The fourth one is this. Do it now. Do it now. Do not wait on the perfect time. Do not wait on the circumstances to be perfect because they will never be perfect. Whatever it is you need to do it now. As I said at the beginning of this podcast, most people hear that and they say, but I can't do such and this and that and that. I was just talking to someone the other day about when you ask somebody about something, they tell you, I was in my course, Moving from Fear to Faith. And we're talking about people will tell you all the things they can't do. But they'll never say, well, I could do this. And we need to change that concept, change that construct, right? When I say do it now, start thinking of what you can do. It's amazing. And then do that. It may not be the biggest thing ever. It might be just to walk outside the door today and go for a 5-minute walk. Maybe that's the thing you need to do today. Start there. But do that. Don't say, well, I can't run a marathon, so I'm just going to sit on the couch. No, go outside and walk for 5 minutes and come back in. Do that. And then build off of that. Every action you take is building momentum towards the next action, towards your goal, towards your dreams, right? Know what they are. Number one, have a goal, right? Have a goal, plan your day. Make sure that the things that need to be done get done. Be consistent. That means doing it every day and being disciplined in what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like it. Number four, do it and do it now. Do not wait. The time is never going to be right. There's always going to be a reason why you can have an excuse for not doing it. Do it anyway. That's the key. So 3 things today we talked about putting in the work. First is this. Nobody's a natural. Those people you're looking at, you think they just naturally are great at what they do. No, they work their butts off to get to where they are. Nobody's a natural. So work yours off too. Put in the work and you'll get to where you want to be. Number 2 is this. Luck takes hard work. There's no such thing as luck. The harder you work, the luckier you get. That's what's up. The last one is this. You can't expect to succeed if you only put in the work when you feel like it. The great people, the greatest, the most successful people put in the work when they don't feel like it because they know why. Right? They know why they're doing it. Right? Remember those 4 steps. Have a goal. Plan your day. Be consistent. Do it now. If you do that, you can unequivocally say, I own the now, and I have won. Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Time Is Always Now podcast. Always remember, share this podcast with your friends, with your family, and I want more people to be able to get this message. So share it as much as possible. Invite people on to listen to the podcast. Tell them about it. So I appreciate that, and I want as many people to get these messages as possible. With that, I am going to sign off. This is TY. Remember, the time is always now.